play.
Attention passengers. All spirit trains are experiencing delays due to an earlier incident. We appreciate your patience and hope you remain seated inside the car for your own safety.
Okay, let's do that one more time. But this time, 50 times slower. It's an analysis. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Give me a second. Because here, okay, look. Consider, if you will, a world where Spirit Halloween drops a teaser in May, and they don't bombard it with 50,000 little things in the thing. You understand what I'm saying? That world doesn't exist, and here is the incoming Madison Scare Park theme video. Oh my gosh, they're making a rat! They're making a rat! Whoa! Did you see it, guys? They're making a rat. I really hope it doesn't look like the one from Morris Costumes from 4 years ago. I really hope it has a full molded body with actual hair on it that looks like something Home Depot would sell and doesn't just have a cloth over its body. Now, I have some things to say. I have some things to say about the teaser. Okay. So first of all, let's get this elephant rat out of the room. It looks like we're getting a rehashing of the 2014 theme, if I'm not mistaken. The 2014 Spirit Station Z, which was full of zombies. It was awesome. So I don't want to read into it too much. There's a scream there. I suppose a younger, more novice version of myself would go, oh my gosh, they're bringing back Twitching Banshee. They don't need to bring back Twitching Banshee. Twitching Banshee never went away. You could still get that lady. She's still on the market. But it's, you know, it's nice. It's nice. Okay, so you got the sewer grate. You got some slime. There's giant rat found near the sewer. So if you didn't know, there's this leaked thing going around of this rat. I'm not going to show it on here because I don't want Spirit putting me back on their hit list. I've already been on the hit list before. There was a sniper. The sniper missed me, but it was close, okay? And I will talk about Flagship in this stream, but give me a second. I'll get there. Trust me. There's some creepy hands. I don't know if those are hands of a new prop, or, you know, if it, you know, they're just prop hands for the sake of this video. Which, it's a good video, by the way. It's a good video, you know? So I saw another rat tail. Pausing this, I see not a ton. I see some limbs and a rat. You know, it's a subway train, but it looks cool. So, okay, can I, let's see if I can make that bigger. Hang on. I wanted to see if I could catch. Okay, so this, in case of emergency, push button. It sort of looks like what could potentially be a prop activation switch, I'm guessing. Probably minus the slime. I don't think they're going to do the slime on it. It looks like it was added for the sake of this video, but this looks like it could definitely be one of the prop activation buttons. This, okay, there's the hands again from some kind of prop, I'm guessing. That, if I go back, that said Spirit Station Z on it, which confirms that theme. If you look right here, I think it says Spirit Metro in the corner, I'm guessing. And you can see a couple of other things. I see Fright Zone Station. I think my little thing here covers up a couple of these. Pumpkin Nester Court. Does that confirm Pumpkin Nester's returning, or is that just them being cheeky? It's hard to tell with spirits sometimes. They're cheeky like that. You're funny, Spirit. They also have Sam Street, Elm Street, which could mean a potential Freddy prop, which I think we're long overdue for Freddy and Jason, personally. But then there's also Myers Way, so who really knows? They could just be throwing out, you know, words. A lot of this is out of focus. I can't really read all of it. Stilt Street, Gordo Street, Buzzsaw Street. I think those are just references. Blah, blah, blah. There's an airport, some airport references. I don't know if that'll mean anything. It's just speculative. All of it, excuse me, all of this is really speculative at this point, except for the Spirit Station and a rat prop. That's really all we really know at this point. But you know, it's still something. Not really seeing too much. Okay, this is kind of cool. This is, I'm guessing this is some kind of new, I don't know if it's a tabletop or a, you know, it's technically a life-size raccoon, I suppose. But it's some kind of raccoon, zombie raccoon, and it's got, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to guess that the finger was added, like somebody thought it was funny to put a finger in its mouth. I don't think that's included. But it does appear that it's holding some wires. Again, that could also be, they could have put that. It might just be a static raccoon, but I like that it has its, you know, you can see the spine there. I love the stuff that's a little edgy, a little gory. I'll take whatever I can get in that department from Spirit at this point. But the raccoon is pretty dope. There it is. Yeah, I think that finger was added in. I could be wrong about that. That appeared to be... Okay. Despite being, you know, 25% speed, it's still a little fast for Spirit. Goes a little fast for me. But, this is some kind of old person prop of some kind. I was looking at the Spirit Wiki, because those guys get all into the guts of this stuff. Apparently there's some kind of grandma prop, and I'm guessing this is it. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Kind of looks like a creepy grandma. What it does specifically, time will tell, but it is some kind of something. Some kind of grandma doing something kind of spooky. People were saying an old person zombie that bangs its head against the wall. Well, that'd be pretty great. I do that sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, there's a creepy grandma or some kind of old person. Think its back twists. Okay, hopefully it's not wheelchair granny. I hope and pray. Yeah. I also believe in some of these shots, but I can't pick out a good one. But in some of these shots, you can see all these electrical wires, and I'm pretty sure there is Electrified Corpse returning, who is an incredible old school spirit prop from my generation. Actually, I'm even older than that. I'm like ancient. But it is a great prop. I love Electrified Corpse. I think it's one of the scariest spirit props in terms of that jump scare. I've had this thing since, oh gosh, I think I first used it in, it was whenever I did Abandon with Smiley World, and I had it in the fence, and it always, every time I walked by it, scared me. And up until last year, I think mine finally just farted out on me. So I think I'm overdue for another one. But it's a sweet prop. I love Electrified Corpse, and it's definitely one that deserves to come back. I don't necessarily see the timestamp of when you see it, but it is in here somewhere because I saw it before. I just lost it. Was that it? Who even knows? No. What is that? Are those just wires? Okay, there is a... If I really wanted to read into stuff, I mean, there's that phone. I don't think that means anything, personally. I think sometimes we do a whole lot of reading into things, and we're looking for things that aren't there. Oh, there he was. I think that was him. Hang on. Yo, you gotta time that. Perfect. You gotta... Boom, there he is. You see him? That's his head. Upside down. And there's his little... He's got a stumpy arm on one arm. And then his other arm kind of sticks out because he's a zombie. That's pretty sweet. I'm glad he's coming back. I'm glad he's coming back. So here's what we know in this teaser, really. We know we're getting this subway, Madison Scare Park, aka the Spirit Station Z theme. And yeah, we're getting that theme. We're also getting the return of Electrified Corpse. Some kind of big rat, some kind of mutant rat, it looks like. And I'm trying to think of what else. There was a reference to Elm Street. Does that mean there's a Freddy? It could have just been Spirit putting a cheeky little reference to Nightmare on Elm Street. I think they should do it. I think we're overdue for a Freddy and a Jason, personally, because those ones from Lowe's don't count. The Jimmy ones are not canon. I've decided that right now, that they're not canon. Because what is this? What is this? That is not Freddy. So we're overdue for a good Freddy. We're overdue for a good Jason. Michael, they keep trying. They really do. I gotta give them credit. They just... I don't know why. Hang on, I need to vent this for a second. I don't know why we can't get a good Michael animatronic. It has been years, and trial and error over and over and over again. They just can't make it work. He's such an easy character. You just gotta do two things. I'm telling you now. There are two things that are so simple, but so effective. One, to make a Michael animatronic, he's got to tilt his head. He has to tilt his head. If you don't have the head tilt, what are you doing? What are you doing? He doesn't have to move aside from that. He could literally stand still and tilt the head. 2, this is dummy proof. You would think this would be obvious, but you'd be shocked. You'd be surprised. Number 2 is you have to have the actual Halloween theme. No Roomba music, no Hit Crew, no Drew's Famous, none of this ringtone, Alibaba crap. It has to be actual John Carpenter Halloween theme. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine a Michael that just stands there and goes and does the breathing. Whoa. Whoa. I could even look past some of the other stuff. I don't know why we always are subjected to the Halloween 2 Michael Myers. I don't know what that's about. Why he always has to have the bleeding eyes, even though that's literally in 4 frames of the movie. I like Halloween 2, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I don't know what's up with that. We've gotten a good Leatherface now. I think Leatherface can take a break. Trying to think of some other. Trying to think of what else do we get? Chucky. Home Depot's got Chucky taken care of. Let it go. Let it go, Spirit, for now. Yeah, give us Freddy. Give us Freddy. I think we deserve it. I think we deserve it. Did y'all see leaks for the license props this year or just predictions? Okay, I do need to show you something else. I'm going to go on my high horse for a second. Hold on, I'm going to be a minute. I got to look something up. This was a spur of the moment stream, so you're welcome.
What?
Okay. I would like to shout out Spooky Guy 444. Spooky Guy, because this is important, dang it. This is important. So he does this prototype marathon along with a few other haunters, like Jaden the Haunter, etc., etc. These different channels which you should totally be subscribed to. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? But anyway,
It is going.
he made this video. Okay, so they're doing this series, right, where they are looking at prototypes of props. And there was supposed to be a Party City 2025 poltergeist clown. Literally a prop I've been asking for years. They finally did it, and then they had to go bankrupt. Please, somebody, please, Spirit, Home Depot. I don't know who can do it. Lowe's. Somebody get this thing. Do not let this one die. I'm praying that it does not die. But let me show you real quick. So again, shout out to Spooky Guy 444.
Party City 2025.
Well, he says it better than I.
Come out due to them closing. But let's not waste any more time. I know you guys want to see what's in here, so let's open up this box and let's look at all the parts. All right, first things first. Of course.
Okay, well I'm gonna skip the setup. You can watch his video for yourself. But
well, it's not completely identical to what he looks like in the movie. I think.
Okay, it is kind of weird that it stands up like that.
I'm going to go ahead and plug them in, and let's do a demo.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have been waiting years, literally my whole life for that. That's not true. But you can go back. You can check the receipts on hauntformer. Go look. I talked about the poltergeist clown years ago. And they finally did it, and then they're not doing it. I don't know, does anyone know what company made this clown? Can another store, like, pick this up? Because, okay, personally I would change a little bit. It doesn't have to stand up and do this animation. Just make the doll. I'm fine with just the doll. I just want it to exist. I want Poltergeist to get some love. It's a great freaking movie. What are we doing? What's going on? In fact, hang on. Oh, it's SVI? Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna shout out right now a bunch of licensed characters from good horror movies that I don't know where they've been. And somebody needs to get this in front of someone that has power. I don't have any power. I'm just a stupid little idiot on YouTube who started a Halloween channel, and somehow all of you wonderful fine folks started watching me for some reason. But this is a not so comprehensive list, because there are plenty more of animatronics that we need to get. Because look, for the licensed characters, I know I'm going off from the spirit origins of this video, but this pertains to Spirit as it does Home Depot and Lowe's. Because let's be real, they're basically the final line of defense right now for the animatronics in the amateur haunter world. You know CVS ain't doing this. Michael's has good Halloween stuff, but it ain't the animatronics. It's Lowe's, Home Depot, and Spirit, okay? This is our final line of defense. I'm speaking to all of you. I'm speaking in terms of the licensed characters, because look, every 2 years we get something that's Chucky or Michael Myers, and I love the guys, I really do. I love Ghostface, I love Leatherface. We've been there. I imagine Art the Clown's going to be milked for many years to come now. But let me tell you about some horror characters that deserve it. These guys and gals deserve it. 1. Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. And Hannibal Lecter. I know Hannibal we got years ago, but it was so long ago. Hannibal frickin' Lecter, one of the greatest movie villains of all time. What are we actually doing? Jack Torrance from The Shining. Literally the most acclaimed horror movie of all time. Where's the merch? Not even the Grady twins. Nothing. Not even the bear guy that does you-know-what with that other dude. Not even Delbert Grady. I'm only asking for one. Annie Wilkes from Misery. Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. I would even take Jigsaw. We haven't even gotten Jigsaw. We got Billy the Puppet a few times, and most of the time he kind of sucks. This one blows my mind. Where is the Norman Bates from Psycho? It's such an easy character, too. You just have him in the mom outfit with the knife raised up. Well, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? Nothing from The Thing. Nothing. Not a gremlin, although Trick or Treat Studios did a good job with the puppets, so I really can't blame them. No Tarman zombie from Return of the Living Dead. No Brundlefly. None of the little kids from Halloween 3. Again, no Poltergeist characters, no Poltergeist clown, which would have happened, but now it can't. No Cujo. No Carrie. No Carrie. No Candyman. No Candyman. No Ash from Evil Dead. No Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine. No Invisible Man from The Invisible Man. No Audrey 2? No aliens from They Live. What are we actually doing? And that was not a comprehensive list. I can think of way more. What about our Universal Monsters? We're getting Bride of Frankenstein this year. Cool. Nice. Where's Dracula been? Where have the vampires been in general? What's going on? No Gillman? I admit that's a tall order, but come on. People would absolutely flip their lid for the Gillman. No Wolfman. Not even that many werewolves recently. Am I on crazy pills? Where are all these awesome, iconic characters? We're announcing something, everybody. Another Michael Myers. Will it be good this year? No. At least give us a good Michael Myers. I think we deserve that. There have been some strange choices in the Halloween realm, and I'm not a business person. I mean, I'd like to think I know a bit about business and enterprise, but that's beyond my pay grade. I'm not sitting in the boardroom. I'm not making the executive shots. But all I will say is that there are some great characters that have been skipped over. Home Depot even made a Leprechaun this year. Where's the licensed Leprechaun prop? We got Krampus. It's a step in the right direction. And I'm sure there's even more. If any retailers are watching this, there's a list right here in the chat. And I'll look at a few of them. I see The Mummy. Mardi Gras Massacre. No. We need all of them. You're right. No Goosebumps animatronics? Yeah, where's Slappy? Where's the Haunted Mask? Scarecrow Walks at Midnight? None of these characters, huh? Well? Huh? Yeah, no witches. Where are the witches? Frankenweenie and Coraline. Okay, to be fair, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that we're getting a Frankenweenie at Lowe's this year, if I'm not mistaken. But Coraline, no Coraline. What's going on? People would love it. Like I said, The Mummy. Yeah, Mummy would be great. I really think The Mummy earns it. I really think the Five Nights at Freddy's crew. I think at least a Freddy Fazbear. They could do it. Someone will say, "Oh, they can't do it." They could do it. We got the Mars Attacks alien. Because here's my thought process, and here's probably yours as well. Is you would go, okay, I'd love to get some licensed characters, but it's hard for them to do the sculpts because, they could do a cartoony character like, Emily or Victor or Jack Skellington, but doing a realistic person is hard. I have Reagan. I can show you her. I have Reagan. We got Jenna Ortega. We got a life-size Jenna Ortega Wednesday. There's no excuse we can't get a Tony Todd Candyman, rest in peace, or a Jack Torrance, or an Annie Wilkes, or a Norman Bates, or any of the other ones I mentioned, Buffalo Bill, Hannibal Lecter. There's no excuses anymore. We have the technology. We can make any of this possible. Tall Man from Phantasm, Pyramid Head, any of the Dead by Daylight people. Yeah, Dracula. What's going on? Eraserhead, baby. Come on, I'll buy the Eraserhead, baby. Come on. Yeah. Seriously, though. Seriously. It sounds like, okay, so if I was a smart person and I'm looking at the chat and I see that Spirit has the FNAF license, it sounds like, because they're doing, I saw like a door, some kind of doorway thing, leads me to believe if they got the licensing, they're going to make some kind of prop. Then the question is what or who. And my best guess is it's either going to be Freddy or it's going to be Springtrap is my guess. And it's going to be based off the movie if I had to guess. Because that would make sense. They would do that. The hard ones, okay, because the thing is, when things are a hot property, that's when people pick, they want to get that hot property sold. So let me just say, I love this so much. I'm so glad that they attempted this. And Party City, if you weren't knocked down in your prime, we would have been here to support this thing. But let me be frank, as a fan of Poltergeist, I have to rip the Band-Aid off, even for myself. Who's talking about Poltergeist of recent memory? I mean, the horror fans will, but in the public zeitgeist, who is talking about Poltergeist? You know what I mean? People are talking about Five Nights at Freddy's and Art the Clown, Terrifier stuff. People are still talking about The Shining. I still hear the big name ones. Friday the 13th always comes up, so those ones are hot. But then there are some that they're excellent films, but they just aren't the powerhouse that I feel like these retailers think are marketable enough characters. You take, for instance, The Fly, one of my all-time favorite horror movies. Brundlefly would be such a crazy, awesome animatronic. Who's talking about The Fly? Like, it's great, and if you get in the right circles, they're talking about it because it's awesome. But then the mainstream, people who are really talking about it, which is amazing that, like, somehow, despite that foundation, a movie like Killer Clowns slipped through the cracks. Because Killer Clowns, even 5 years ago, was not what it is now. I don't know if Halloween Horror Nights has to be thanked for that, or the fans, or what. But Killer Clowns was like exponential growth. It just went whoa. And suddenly now it's everywhere. You go to the mall, there's Killer Clowns stuff everywhere. And I wish more niche movies got that treatment. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I really wish that this exists. I mean, it does. At least one standing strong haunter has it. But not I. But not I. Yeah, I really wish we got some more unique characters. We will. I don't want to sound like a cynical, like, armchair critic where I'm like, I hate everything. Because I don't. I think actually the Halloween industry's gotten really good in the last few years. Home Depot's had a lot to do with that, frankly. With the servo technology and everything. Spirit's up in their game too. They have new mechs and stuff. But things take a plateau. And let's address the other big elephant in the room right now, and that's the whole situation with the tariffs going on and the economy. It's caused a lot of delays in things. That is to say that Flagship isn't happening this year, which some people are going to care more or less. I wasn't necessarily planning on going this year. I've gone in years past. It's a neat event. I have my criticism of it, sure. I think it's really hot outside, so to stand outside for 7 hours to not even get the prop because, people camped out 3 years in advance. I just went for the hype. I went to see everybody. It's a great time, but it's not happening this year, unfortunately, because of everything that's going on. And so it's like the industry is constantly in its ebbs and flows, it's constantly changing. And it's neat. It's neat to be a part of that history, and kind of to see where we'll go next. Because like I said, a lot of these other retailers have kind of died off. We now just have Spirit. We have Spirit in the hardware stores, pretty much. Unless you count maybe Halloween, HalloweenCostumes.com. They have a lineup. We could throw them in the ring. But they're not a physical presence. I'm saying somewhere you could go to buy stuff. Because Target and Walmart have really stepped back from the licensed characters, or even just life-size characters. They used to have a little bit more of a presence there. Michael's used to when I was a kid, but they've completely stepped back from that realm. Which, if I may, Michael's actually has some great home decor. In fact, I would argue that Michael's has the best home decor of recent memory. It's also my vibe, which helps. But they offer a few different themes. But in terms of the licensed characters, in terms of the life-sized characters, and places you could go physically in person, we're really just down to those two hardware stores and Spirit, which is pretty wild. It's definitely sad that Party City had to go, because they were really getting the groove of it, and they were really becoming a big force in the industry. Maybe they'll come back in some capacity. I don't know what the future holds, but we're just gonna see what happens. My advice. This is my advice for Spirit. As a store I grew up with and a store I love, I don't want Spirit to ever meet the same fate as Party City, which that would be hard for them because of the nature of their company, that it is a pop-up thing. Party City had to rely on all of these brick-and-mortar stores all year, and they had certain seasons that really elevated them. But I will say that it's going to be hard for Spirit and these other Halloween-exclusive companies to compete with a big, retail store like Home Depot, for instance. Because Home Depot, their bread and butter is not Halloween. So they're fine with taking the risks. They have the capital and the upfront money to take risks and do all this crazy stuff. That's why Home Depot has given us like a Knight, a Leprechaun, just their wild things, Sea Monster, because they can afford to do so, and they're like, if it doesn't sell well, we're Home Depot, we'll sell plywood, you know what I'm saying? Spirit is very niche. It's always Halloween. That's what it's been through and through, which is awesome. But what they have to do, how do you compete with a store that isn't really scared? And my advice is you have to up the scare factor. Home Depot being a retail company and having families with kids and stuff come in, they're only going to push the spooky and scary so far. They're making great stuff. They're making things that I would say are even creepy. But they're not making anything that intense. And I get Spirit doesn't want to too. So I'm going to push this idea forward, which is Spirit should have two themes. One theme in the front of the store, which is family friendly. Throw your little young Crouchy and your little boo-boo baby stuff in that. And then in the back, you have a roped off section, and it's got the scary stuff, and it has the gory stuff, and it's creepier. Stuff that Home Depot would not put in their stores. Rick Ratman comes to mind. Like, Rick Ratman isn't even like a level 10, gross out, disgusting, freaky prop. But he's definitely something that I don't know if they would have at Home Depot. It's a little too grody. It's got rats and blood and guts. That's the stuff that I think Spirit needs to offer in person. That's my opinion. Because there's no competition there. It's just Spirit saying, we're a Halloween-only store. And here's the crazy thing, too. Walk into if you're a kid, don't walk into Spencer's. Okay? But if you're an adult, go into Spencer's, and they have some wild stuff. Then you walk into Spirit, and it suddenly, turns into Toys R Us. And I'm like, huh? Now, I know I'm a bit desensitized to the whole scary thing. Like, I've seen so much scary stuff that it kind of goes over my head at this point. But I even get a little unnerved walking into Spencer's still. Well, I mean, it has some suggestive stuff. But it just has a creepy vibe to the locations. And I know they're constant physical locations that don't up and leave every year. But they're able to get darker at Spencer's than they do at their own Halloween store. And I feel like there's an imbalance there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. The other thing I will say, I've seen a couple people in the chat, and I would just like to clarify this position while I'm on my soapbox at the moment, is that I don't hate clowns, and I think clowns can be really good. But it's just like zombies. Zombies are my favorite monsters. But when we get so many of the same type of thing, and I'm not seeing creativity on display, that's when I have a problem. And I'm not seeing the fear factor on display either. Remember that stupid zombie Jerry? Can I talk about this thing? I hate this prop. Let me find a picture of it, because you need to see this if you didn't see it before. You probably have. This is such a low effort prop, in my opinion, and I'm sorry to maybe whoever designed it. This is not bashing anyone in particular. This is just my assessment of a product that I don't like. Okay, here you got Jerry, just the most plain looking character. They're trying to do gore, but it looks so cartoony. The clothes are so basic. The glowing eyes look so corny. I mean, the face sculpt is fine, but just look, no, that's not a zombie. Now, I know this is an unfair comparison, but now you look at the great OG that is the flesh-eating zombie. Like, look at this picture someone took. Look at the detail work. Even this picture, like some of these like lower quality images of this guy, it's just night and day to me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I admit, let me be the first to admit, I have nostalgia goggles. Everyone does. The Zombie Wasteland is my favorite theme, and it may never be topped for me. It had green slime and zombies like that. If you know me, that's just my thing. But there was some level of intimidation with the old stuff. I'm not saying it was better made. I think they've definitely improved in terms of their different mechs and how the quality of the props are made. But in terms of the ideas, I don't know, they just don't seem as intimidating. Let me give you another example, okay? Here's another example, and this is one that they could have brought back this year with this whole, we're doing rats and a subway station. It's this guy, Eaten Alive, which is one of my favorite props that I never got my hands on. Such a creepy prop. Like, literally being eaten by a giant rat. It has no arms and no legs. Just grotesque. It's awesome. It's really cool. And I just couldn't see Spirit making something like this and having it in stores anymore. You know what I mean? And I could be wrong about that, and I hope Spirit proves me wrong. But I'm just looking at the trends of the last couple years, and it's just different, I guess. You know? Yeah, Eaten Alive was so cool. It was freaky, you know? It was freaky. Even take a look at how they've really neutered, they've nuked the zombie babies. Which, some people, you either love the zombie babies or you hate them. But, like, take a look at this real quick, okay? Here's a zombie baby that I see so much overstock of every year. Because it's not good. I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't look good. Or like this one. Like, I like the idea with the moths, but really? Really? Then you look at, like, this. Like, it looks way more intense. You know, there's some, like, graphicness to that. I do like this one. This is a newer one that I can praise. Okay? Here's Chewy. I wasn't crazy about Chewy, but at least there's some kind of intimidation there. The Brain Eater one, great zombie baby, one of the best. But they had their stinkers too. I used to have this one. I gotta admit, this isn't a high mark of the zombie babies. Or I had Stabby. I like Stabby. All I'm doing is I say this to say that I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong here, and tell me if I'm turning into the old man yelling at the sky, because that's not my intention. But I'm just kind of speaking my mind here while I have my soapbox. But I feel like a lot of the Halloween stores, they're trying to appeal to a younger demographic. And I can relate, because when I was younger, I really liked Halloween stuff. Halloween is, at its core, for children. Okay? It's about getting candy and dressing up in a costume. I'm the oddball out. I'm the 26, almost 27-year-old who has spooky crap in his room. But I'll say this. When I was a kid, I liked the scary stuff. I liked when it was intense because it was like almost taboo, and it was an interest in something that was creepy. If you water down spooky stuff to the point where it's not scary anymore, well, you've defeated the whole purpose of Halloween. That's the whole reason for the holiday. It's a morbid day. It's a day of the grotesque, the macabre. It's all about death. It's all about creepiness and fear, and it's awesome. And I don't want that to go away. I don't want that to go away. So that's my little soapbox. Yeah, I feel like they're trying to appeal to moms who have to buy this for their kids. Yeah, but the thing is, like, you're still buying your kid like a dead baby. There's no way around it. Just because the dead baby looks cuter, it's still a zombie baby. You know, and there's a correct way to do it. I'm not a parent, and I'm not going to tell people how to parent their children, but all I'll say is, like, if you don't want your kids to be around spooky stuff, then I get just keeping them completely away from it. But to water it all down, I feel like kids, when I was a kid, I liked it when it was creepy. I preferred the more macabre stuff that was offered at the retailers. I remember getting freaked out by stuff. There was some stuff that was funny. Like, I remember at Kmart. Hang on, let me see if I can find this. Remember Kmart? Does anyone remember Kmart? That's how you know I'm old. Because I can talk about Kmart. Kmart Halloween. I think this was around 2009. Ooh, that's old. That's old. Okay, it was stuff like this. Shout out to Manny the Haunter. This is not it. But they had these little horror guys, okay? You know, and they had a Michael, a Freddy, a Jason, and a Chucky. And the Chucky one absolutely scared the crap out of me. I was so scared of the Chucky one. Let me see if I can find it. Which is funny, because it's like this big. It's this little thing. But it really scared me when I was a kid. And now I love Chucky, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I see this little Chucky, but you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Here, let's see. I think this is it.
Oh, welcome to the Kmart Halloween Live.
Which, by the way, such nostalgia. Shout out to Jeremy Lepec, ventriloquist.
Oh, we got some Halloween.
Hello, ventriloquist. It's been a while since I've done ventriloquism, I'm sorry.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing, too. I have a fondness for... I don't know what you'd call it. Like, I'll call it crappy Halloween stuff. It is. Like, we've really improved on the quality of Halloween decorations and home merch and all of this stuff. Like, we've really made a lot of leaps. Technology has allowed for that to happen. But there's something kind of quaint about this early, almost primitive Halloween stuff. And this isn't even the oldest. Like, you go back to the 90s, even the 80s, and see what they were decorating with. But okay, here we go. Okay, there's Ghostface. Oh, the Chucky is in here.
Oh, here's the best one. Mini Jason.
I liked all of those things. I can't find the Chucky. But anyway. If you know, you know. You know? Good times.
Cool crows. Let's go.
Good times. Let me see. Anyway, point is, the Chucky really scared me. And, I don't know, kids like being scared. I liked being scared when I was a kid. I don't want that to get lost because we're trying to make it safe. We're making it too safe for kids. At the Halloween store, of all places. You know, like, I could get if it's Walmart, you know. I don't want people to be walking through Walmart, see some zombie with its brain hanging out and screaming, and some little kid to cry. I don't want that to happen. But if you're going out of your way to go to a creepy Halloween store, I kind of want it to stay creepy, you know? Yeah, the old Halloween audio was such a vibe. What a time to be alive. I have a theory that the yellow eyes in the teaser trailer is a leak of a new animatronic Valak the Nun. Interesting. Well, there is the new Conjuring movie coming out, so anything's possible. I will say Valak would be kind of, seems like it'd be a little late for it. Like, I feel like that hype, it'd be like making a Pennywise now. You know, it's like, okay, cool. It's like when they made the Slender Man movie in 2018. Like, where were they for 10 years? We watched Marble Hornets already. We didn't need your Slender Man movie. Stuff like that, you know? But that's a good theory. That's a good theory. Valak is confirmed to be a new animatronic. Whoa. Well, that would be pretty neat. Let me see if I can find these eyes that you're mentioning in the teaser. Do you know the timestamp of where it is in the video? And I'll try to see if we can see it. Okay, hang on. Gonna have to do the old slow down trick again. Okay, hang on. What am I drinking? Just good old H2O. The eyes are by the phone part. So you think it was right here? Yeah, it's still too fast. I wish I could go frame by frame. I think I keep missing it. Whatever. Oh, I saw it. Figman! I saw it, I saw it, I saw it. Oh, there it was. Did you see it? Look up here. Up in the top right-hand corner. Ah! There it was. Ah! Now hang on just a second. Hang on. Come on. I'm trying to split my screen. It's not wanting to do it. Hang on. No. Minor technical difficulties, kids. Hang on just a second. My computer is tweaking out. No. I don't know why. You already know, but anyway. If you take a look, see the eyes? Yeah, I could buy that that's phallic. Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be a smoking gun. It's either phallic or a Demodus Barn Owl reskin, life-size Deftones animatronic. I suppose it could be an owl. I don't know, that looks an awful lot like phallic. Oh, it looks like Hugs. Oh, I hope not. Oh, no. I hate Hugs. I mean, I'm not... Phallic could be a cool prop. It just depends. I'm not really a huge Conjuring fan. It just feels like watered down horror to me. You know, it's just like jump scares and stuff. But I digress. I'm going to save that for a different discussion. There's a rumor going around that it's a reskin of Desmodus as a barn owl on a fence post. Okay. Well, that's not a bad theory either. I suppose any of the options. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that this image is of the phallic prop. Because for another thing, if you really nitpick it, there's slight, there's something around the eyes. I guess I could see how you could, I could see how you could think that that's an owl, I guess. It's a 50-50 shot, really. But anyway. Anywho, there you go. Yeah, my computer is cursed. So, I'd like to open the floor for a second, because I'm not going to have this stream go on for too much longer. We're almost at an hour. Thinking of wrapping it up for this lovely Memorial Day weekend. I'd like to open the floor to any questions, anything you want to run by me before I head out for the time being. I will be back soon. I do promise that. I have some new videos. I actually got a package from Lemax, because I got like the influencer perk. Yeah. And I got some early access to some new pieces that I'll be showing off. But for the time, you'll have to suffice with this live stream. But I'm open to any more final questions, comments, concerns. Hope you all enjoyed. I know this was a very different one. It kind of went on a rant for a little while, but hopefully it was an enjoyable one. I am looking forward to seeing what Spirit has, as I am for Home Depot and Lowe's, and the other retailers too. I actually went about, this was like maybe 2 weeks ago, to Hobby Lobby, because there's one in my area. They're already getting the fall stuff out. They already are getting the fall stuff out. It's May. Absolutely crazy. It's, okay, so the thing is, like, that is crazy, also because I live in Florida, and it was like 120 degrees outside. So when I'm smelling a pumpkin spice candle, it's not really hitting. But the fact that we're on the road to Halloween is very exciting, I must admit. It's nice that stuff is coming back. What animatronic do you want to see the most from Spirit? I don't have anything in particular, really. I want some zombies with a little more oomph. I want something a little shocking, you know? In terms of licensed props, a lot of the ones that I aforementioned, like a new Hannibal Lecter, would be a top tier one for me, as would maybe like a Patrick Bateman or a Norman Bates or something to that effect would be cool. Did you see the spec maps for HHN this year? I did, and they look promising. They look promising. If I pull them up real quick, spec map HHN 2025. I would like to find the one for Orlando currently, which Orlando right now is in an interesting tizzy because of Epic Universe opening. Apparently the Universal Park is like completely dead, as is Islands of Adventure. And, whoop, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. But anyway, the regular theme parks are really low waits and stuff right now. Hagrid's was like 25 minutes, which is just insane. And Epic Universe obviously is getting flooded. But I really want to go because, of course, the Dark Universe, obviously. But if you take a look at this spec map, I can't remember what all of these were. There's one right here, which has a ring in it. This is apparently The Undertaker WWE. I forgot what this one is. This one's apparently a Five Nights at Freddy's house, which is cool. I don't remember this one either. But then you have, this is supposed to be Terrifier, I guess, is getting a house. Friday the 13th, some kind of wizard thing. Apparently a Fallout house, which sounds awesome. And I don't remember what those are. But if I'm looking correctly, so the Undertaker one would be in one of the, well, all of these are in these backlot areas. And then you have the Terrifier one is where the Icons one was from a few years back, and the Friday the 13th one is where the Chucky one was, it looks like. The Fallout one is behind the Men in Black ride, I think. Yeah, maybe it's in a tent, actually. It's hard to tell which ones are in the tent. Actually, I think all of these are in the tents over here. But that's pretty sick. That is pretty cool. I am looking forward to HHN for 2025. And I might even get like one of the passes where you can go back multiple times. So if you're in the area, you want to go to HHN with me, hit me up. Because it would be fun. It would be fun. Thoughts on swamp creatures? I love swamp creatures. I really love nautical horror. Anything that comes out of the water I just think is really creepy. So the swamp creatures are nice. There is this tendency to make swamp creatures all the same, like try to make them look exactly the same, and I think the real power of underwater life is that it's so diverse. You could do so many weird things with it. Excuse me. My Bloody Valentine is worse than My Bloody Valentine 3D? Absolutely not. I have to put my foot down for that. I'm so sorry. But crazy guy, you are a little crazy. I guess that's where you get your name. But no, My Bloody Valentine is a masterpiece, and My Bloody Valentine 3D is pretty not good. It has those actors from Supernatural in it. Yeah. I hope Home Depot makes a giant King Kong animatronic 10 foot or more. That would be sweet. And I'll throw in Godzilla and Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters as other big props that would be cool to see. Puppet Master animatronics would be nice, especially Blade. Would be very cool. Jumping down a little bit. Angler Fishman prop, that would be sick. Are you going to Epic Universe? I will eventually. I have my merch, which I did that little video on my channel. I have this. My sister went, and she brought me back this bag from Dark Universe, which is pretty cool. But I do need to go. Should Spirit a Halloween do zombie aliens? Of course. Do you ever think we'll get the puppet animatronic? I assume you're talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's marionette. Anything's possible. I don't think that's what they'll jump to first, though. I want an H.P. Lovecraft house at HHN or a Japanese yokai one, like the Latin America. Yes, a Japanese or haunt would be excellent. Or even, I'm going to butcher his name. Ashiko, hang on. What's the Japanese horror guy? Because I've watched a little bit. Oh, Junji Ito. Yeah, Junji Ito. I've seen a little bit of his work, and it's really cool and very creative. That would be a great haunt. Creature from the Black Lagoon, 70 years old. Yeah, we should have got a Gillman. I am stupid. I wrote it the wrong way around. Oh, you're good. Yes, then you're not a crazy guy. You're actually just a normal guy. Animatronics I want. Godzilla. That's going to be a tall order, I'll admit. Literally. But it would be awesome. Gillman. A well-articulated Michael Myers with the actual music. Amen. Scooby-Doo or Goosebumps-esque mummy. Ooh. Sorry, I keep yawning. Guess I'm tired. Yeah, just a classic mummy would be sick. I didn't do it last year, but for Haunttober, I was planning to do a video. I watched all of the old school mummy movies, starting with The Mummy's Hand, which is the sequel to the Boris Karloff one. I watched all of the sequels, so I've now seen all of the old mummy movies. And I was going to do a whole video talking about them, I just didn't have the time last October. We are getting a Medusa statue. Oh, I did see that. It's like the bust. It's like from like her chest up of Medusa. I want the tall man from Phantasm for Spirit. That would be cool. I think that would come later down the road, though. They'd have to get past a couple other characters. How do you feel about a Medusa animatronic, Mac? It'd be neat. We've gotten Medusa stuff before. Any of the mythical or like urban legend type things, I'm always down for. Maybe an animatronic based off the original art and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark would be fantastic. Yes. Candyman, yes. Servo Goblin, absolutely. That would be terrific. Target released some Halloween stuff today. Really? Let's see if we can find it. Xenomorph prop is a bit of a tall order. Unfortunately, yeah. And I would throw Predator in there too. Okay, here's an article. Target just pulled a spooky surprise. Their Halloween 2025 line has secretly appeared online. It's a clear nod to the growing Summerween trend where eager fans refuse to wait for falling leaves and cooler temperatures to embrace the spirit. Okay, this is just an article talking about the stuff. Let's see if I can actually So I guess I need to go to Target Halloween and just go to their results, perhaps? Hang on. Okay. Tell me if this looks right. Okay, Halloween Trick or Treat Lane. Indoor Halloween decorations. Let's see what we're working with, folks. Ooh. Okay, so last year they did some cool stuff. This like retro. I'm seeing. Oh. Okay, so last year they did some cool stuff. I'm gonna get back to my screen in just a second. They did some cool old school throwback Halloween stuff, and it looks like they're continuing the trend. I don't really care about this stuff. Okay, they're doing the Lewis thing again. It was fun. It was funny the first time. They're milking it a little much. This is sweet. This witch is sweet. This Frankenstein. Oh, we can actually order this stuff now. How would you feel if I ordered like random stuff from this? Just because I can. Maybe I will. Just to say I'm the first one. Like I would order this Boo skull. It's $10. You know, why not? It'd be kind of fun. And I really like it. I like that it's vacuform like that. They probably will have more. So hang on, let's see. Amazing. This Summerween stuff's caught on. Leave it to social media. Okay, that was basically it. This is all just other random stuff. So it was really just a small amount. It was just these few things, but I like all of these. I like the Frankenstein and the witch and the skull. Let's see outdoor decor. What do they have for outdoor Halloween? Okay. Boo-hoo ghost. Oh, it's crying. Oh, that's sad. Another Lewis. Oh! Oh! Look, they got an alien. Oh, there's a video of it?
Why are the Earthlings wearing costumes? They look scary enough without them.
Alright. Well, I knew it wasn't going to be...
Trick or treat? Do you have any DNA samples for me to eat?
Okay. Yeah. That's about what I expected from Target. They also have a werewolf one. And a vampire. And then, I think now we're getting into, the random... Oh, they do have a giant 6-foot... Well, okay, I take back giant. It's just a 6-foot, one. Okay. Interesting. I'm just glad that the aliens are out in the public eye. But I will say, oh, here's the early Halloween stuff. But I will say I'm scared that the aliens are going to get milked really, really fast. I do fear that. But yeah, so here's all the new stuff, apparently. And press-on nails at the end. They had to throw on the press-on nails. Do they have any of those vacuform masks that they had last year? Those were pretty cool. No, it's just princess dresses. Okay, well. Okay, so when they said that they were dropping Halloween stuff, they weren't lying, but they were kind of making a mountain out of a molehill there. It was like 5 items. It's something. Halloweeny deals. Ooh. Target. High prices. Anyway, so there you go. I will stay on for just a few more minutes, and then I shall bid you adieu. But it doesn't mean goodbye. It means something in French, I think. But yeah, Halloween is already, it's already popping. I wonder if At Home put out any of their Halloween stuff, because I went with Jaden's videos a couple weeks back, and they had like 4 random Halloween items in the store as like a coming soon. Whoa. Oh, here it is. This is what it was. It was, this was there, and this big skeleton. It was all this stuff, and the dragon. It says Summerween is just around the corner. Oh, okay. Well, it's just about the summer, so, you know, no pressure or anything. They're always pretty early, so you'll probably get it soon. I know you're talking about horror characters we want to see as props, but what cartoon characters would you like to see as props? I don't know, because I'm going to stick with spooky stuff, so... you know what would be interesting, actually? I'll give you one. Over the garden wall props. I think over the garden wall would translate well for a Halloween prop. You know? I could see it. I don't know which characters they would pick. You know, obviously I think, what's his name? Wart and, why are their names escaping me? But you know what I'm trying to say. They could do it. They could definitely do it. Motion tracking Hannibal Lecter to when Hannibal and Clarice first meet. Boom. Love that. Opinions on Hellraiser. I quite enjoy Hellraiser, actually. It's a very good movie. At least the first one. They're gonna keep yawning at me, please! And the newer one was actually pretty good with some grody effects. If you were able to choose what spirit animatronic became a doll, what would you choose? I would choose none, because I don't like the dolls. Eaten alive! I just want to see them try to make it into a doll. Good luck. What stuff have you covered in this stream? Andrew, a whole lot. The new Spirit teaser, I ranted for like 45 minutes. I talked about Target drop like 5 items on their website. Talked about license props and just more extreme props at retailers in general. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to end the stream shortly. But I'd like to say thank you for rolling with the punches here. This was not a planned stream. You guys came out of your way for this, and to that I applaud you earnestly. So until the next time, I bid you adieu. I bid you a frightful evening, and thank you all very much for watching. Let me know what videos you'd like to see. Halloween is creeping up. Maybe I'll even do a video on Summerween. Why not? I can do whatever I want. It's my channel. Sue me. I do have those Lemax pieces that I will get around to soon. And we'll be in good shape. Eating alive plushie, yeah, because why not? Well, thank you all. Thank you for tuning in. Have a frightful time, and I'll see you all tomorrow, or whenever. And remember, for all things Halloween, this